Greetings, this is Junior Morgan of Bob Marley and the Wailers. The time has come for the lion to tell his story. And we have here the lion voice. So listen in and get nourishment for the stomach and for the head cup. Jah, Rastafari.
Give thanks.
Give thanks.
What do you have to tell the people about Rastafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. I like himself. Where's rightful ruler? Hey yo! Yeah. Hail them high, hail the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion we come conquer Judah tribe.
Who?
Go through tribulation, and I strive, see sufferation, and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come if you tell them in a Toronto, straight at
True and living is one of the first things you'll hear coming into the movement. True and living. Aye. So what does that mean? That means that it's true. You can go in the history. You don't like the Dejazmatch, KWASI'S, how I talk, Virgin attack, stupidness, and you can say everything you want to say. You can still Google and see Haile Selassie I the first is a living person. So it's not something where I'm telling you about this or that god or goddess and you have to look it up and you read about it, but you can't see it for yourself, moving through aeration, take on physical form, flesh and blood, Haile Selassie the first. So it's a living that's first. So you have to know that Rastafari is a liberty. So there are things that Rastafari in the living that you will research, that you will study, that you will see there's a pathway, there's a way. You will see that there are ones who say they are Rasta, do things when they have nothing to do with how Rastafari live in life. And we talked to Ras Negos. If you haven't seen that episode, watch that episode. And the brethren live in a rough area, or at least he has his shop, in the heart of Montego Bay. Ones will know Montego Bay in recent years, known for the violence. Ras Negos is one of the Ras that will hold it in these environments and respected by rival gangs, all of them things that, neutral ground. He said when you come to his place, the sacramental space that he holds, which is also a shop, ones have to pull up their pants. Ones can't drink no alcohol on the premises. There's a liberty is established. So that means when you come in the space, you have to rise your frequency, your vibration. You can't smoke cigarettes. He outlined some basic things that he enforces. In his space, is a way of life that he is establishing based off of preceptical order. Now, a lot of things that Rasta do out there are not within line with that type of liberty, And these are the things that I can't tell a man he's not a Rasta, because who am I to tell it, Because he can point around the world of what Rasta doing and how, I can't be biased, So Rasta is broad, it's global phenomenon. But within Rasta, like I say, you have Rasta who are also Rastafari. Within those, there are those Rasta who are living according to the teaching of His Majesty and doing all of those things that, His Majesty show within that liberty. So, again, I would say you have Rasta who are Rastafari, but not all Rasta are Rastafari. Rastafari is a defined way of life. You cannot be out there loosey-goosey and say you are Rastafari. You can't be out there and indisciplined, you know, and say you are Rastafari. You know what I mean? Now, let me say that you have once tried in Rastafari who make me state, you know, great King David. You know, you see when you read the Psalms how much time him fall. I'm not talking about that. Let me just be clear. So I'm not saying to try Rastafari you have to be a perfect man. No. Is those people acknowledge when they're doing that. The people who I say are Rasta, not Rastafari, they're not going to apologize for the way them a live out there. Them say, man, a Rasta, way, you know, is an argument you're going to get if you try talk to them about how them a live out there. The Rastafari brethren and sisters, when them slip, when them fall, them will acknowledge, try to better, live up, you know, try live up to that standard of His Majesty. And most of the, and I'm gonna explain, you know, the Rastafari and Rasta brethren again. Three things. Number one thing, one of the most important aspect, if one is Rastafari, or to call yourself Rastafari, one of the most important things, but not the most important, but one of the most important things is what? Number one is you must acknowledge the divinity of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Now, within that divinity, there's, you know, a wide spectrum of how one see it. You have from the 12th tribe who, you know, say that he's the character of Jesus Christus and all of that. You know, some ones who are more extreme want kick out 12 tribe out of Rastafari and said the brethren them are not Rastafari. I wouldn't say that because, you know, dealing with 12 tribe brethren and sisters over the years, and also reasoning, you can see that they acknowledge the divinity of Our Majesty. How they see it and how they define that divinity will be different than the Naya Bingi, will be different than the Bobo Shanti, will be different than some of the ones who are not aligned with any house or mansion. So, you know what I mean, there's difference there. However, one of the things that is really clear is that they acknowledge the divinity. So that is number one. You have to acknowledge the divinity. And me not ask when I say these things, you know, the three things when I outline is things where I dictate upon. You can war with Iman down in the comments. Take on this comment section. Let's have the reasoning. We had the reasoning on Facebook. That now benefit no one. Have the reasoning here on the Lion Voice Network. Like we boots up the algorithm. Because the more back and forth in the comments is the more that they will share this episode to different ones, you know, who are searching Rastafari. That's how the algorithm works. So we can have the reasoning in the comments. But number one, you have to acknowledge the divinity. Now, some people will say that should be it. This is where I would differ, and this is where I would push forward to say, because why? The Pope acknowledged the divinity. If you go in a secret chamber and, you know what I mean, them man, they know His Majesty is the Almighty. However, can we say that the Pope is Rastafari? No. The wicked, you have some wicked out there who acknowledge that Haile Selassie is the Almighty. Even in Jamaica, you have some terrible gunman with bleach out and drink the most and work some serious witchcraft and I do all kind of thing. But if you ask them, man, they will tell you say Haile are the Almighty without apology. Haile Selassie I, you know what I mean? But they're not Rastafari, but they acknowledge the divinity. So while acknowledging the divinity is an essential component of being Rastafari, that by itself is not sufficient to say that one is Rastafari.
Well, the leaders of the world have failed in their responsibility to lead the youths them to a brighter future. Well, I and I hear the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, Earth's rightful ruler. Or just the way Rastafari crowned, unconquerable. We come to tell them now Babylon they're falling down. Tafari dismantle you. We come to tell them about the way Rastafari crowned, unconquerable. unconquerable. Me come fi tell them Rabba Babylon, they're falling down to far right. This uncle yo. Me come fi tell them about Holy Palace intrigue, infighting between Solomon seed. Well, Empress tried to want her family to lead. Well, King Michael want him son to lead, but King Michael now watch the orphan married to him niece, who get up every day and a study and a read. He work and he pray every day. He achieve. Them say you're the leader. Every nation need a just the way Rastafari crown. Unconquerable. Me come fi tell them Rabba Babylon, they're falling down to far right. It's uncle yo. Me come fi tell them about the Rastafari crown. Unconquerable. Me come fi tell them Rabba Babylon, they're falling down to far right. It's uncle yo. Well, Ras Michael, son was having a good time when he should mind the affairs of the state, cause he's descent from the great line of Menelik II, but he's stepping on toes of his elders, treat his women like hoes, he exposed. Now we working with the Ottoman Turks, say he's descending from Muhammad, but that's not how this works. See, the crown was anointed by the Orthodox Church, so if you are ruling as I, then you have to put Christ first.